It's a bit
So
painful, isn't it?
It's a hard lesson.
yeah,
But if
particularly
that was your
expensive.
budget at the time, and
well, I mean, that's one of the lessons I would say is I could have probably pushed a little further and
Mm.
bought and picked up a better asset. And I could have even bought a house in that same area, which would have performed. And I'm not saying houses are always better, but generally speaking, unless there's a unique kind of thing to the unit. So I'd say I could have purchased up to 400, maybe even sort of 450 at a real push, because we're talking in easier lending days where they weren't as strict. And I was fortunate enough that I did have a decent size. I could acquire a decent size deposit as well.
So that's an interesting thing. We do talk about that in your First Home Buyer Guide course around setting your limit and why is it that you've set it at a certain price. And there are dangers of obviously overextending. Equally, there's dangers of underextending when you've got capacity to push yourself further and then buy a better asset. And, I made that mistake myself in my first property as well. I didn't even think to explore. I sort of went with the safe option. And people often think that keeping your borrowing low is safe. And it's only safe if you can buy a really good asset with that low borrowing. If you're compromising on the asset, and you've given a great example there about it, after nearly 7 years, there's been bugger all growth. And in fact, you have your back teeth underwater. But if you actually think about opportunity costs and the cost of getting in and getting out and all that sort of stuff,